Well, hello, friends. It is TexAgs Rewind. So Billy has been giving me a hard time recently about little sayings that I have on the air. We all have it. All broadcasters have certain things that they say. One of the things that he has noticed is I call people my friend. Well, you know why? Because I don't put my enemies on the show. That's part of it. Nick, do you have any other Nuno-isms that little lines that I might say?
You say, all right, guys, that's going to do it a lot.
All right, guys, that's going to do it here.
All right, guys.
Yeah, it's a go-to line.
All right, guys.
Casares, there at the social center, anything?
That you say?
Yeah. Or you could make fun of other people. I don't mind that either. That's fun.
No, my favorite thing you say is mañana. That's I look forward to that every Tuesday.
You know, it's funny. People have picked up on that. And that started off, it was really an organic thing. You know, a lot of times nobody cares about this conversation. All right, big shot of the week. Who was your big shot? Eric?
Kyrie Irving to the Mavs. I love it.
Okay, you're off the show. Nick, do you have a big shot of the week?
Richard Zane.
Okay, you're both fired from the show. Mine was Henry Coleman, hello, and Boots Radford. So that was fun. Still listen to the content that's ahead. We did talk about A.J. Maddox, the newest pickup for Texas A&M commit. The quarterback, Tom Hart, joined the show, usually on a Monday. Had to change it to Tuesday, so he was great. John Pugliese with the keys to beating Auburn. And, of course, Liucci called the show. We have that, and I don't know. I don't think we have anything else. That's the only thing we talked about all show long. No, we did talk about some football. That and more here on TexAgs Rewind. It's a gentleman by the name of Henry Coleman.
Yeah, I love that kid.
So just in the last couple games, 18 points, 15 points, 15 rebounds, 6 rebounds. He's really been playing well longer than this stretch. I mean, he's been a physical force. And this is coming off him struggling for a little bit, which is why I'm hoping for Wade to kind of find his way. There was a little brief stint, or maybe even longer than a brief stint, we're like, when is he going to emerge? When he's going to emerge? And the game is coming to him, and he's taking it.
I asked him about that. I asked Julius Marble about that yesterday. Julius, whose voice is not quite like Michael Clemens, but, man, Julius and Dave South could have a heck of a conversation with that great voices. But and he said that they went back, and they were showing both of them, but especially Henry, some film clips.
Right.
When there were opportunities there, and he passed them up. And they said, Henry, be more aggressive. Take them. Now, usually you don't have to tell a guy to shoot. But Henry is a really unselfish player he said, okay.
And now he's shooting.
And now he's going, in his last 3 games, he's gone 18, 18, and 15. My White Oak education tells me it's 17 points a game. They'll take that every time.
Yeah. Look, and he doesn't have to give you 17, 18 points. If he's getting close to double figures with the guard play that they typically have or can have, they're in good shape.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's had a few double-doubles this year where he's had like 10 points, 10 rebounds, 12 points, 10 rebounds. Very productive guy. But you're right. They don't have to get 17 points for him to win. But here's the deal. He can get you 17 points. So Auburn knows that too. Now they're like, well, wait a minute.
Who do we cover?
Wait a minute. This one kid got 30 on us. The other kid, Taylor, had 15 on us. And now we got to worry about this guy scoring 18, and 15.
Right.
So look for Marble to go off tonight.
Well, I'm trying to find the last time these two teams played. Let's see if I have it right here. For some reason,
it's 4 games ago.
4 games ago. But I'm trying. Do you remember what Julius did in that game?
I think he had about 8. But no, I don't have it right off the top of my head. I know it. Now, he's got the Broom kid on him, the 6'10", 6'11", transfer, who's been a really good player for them.
Yeah, he has been a very good player. The Aggies won that game 79-63. I'm going to the box score as we speak. In that game, Julius Marble had 9 points.
9 points, okay.
Okay, I'll take that. 3 rebounds. Henry Coleman in that game, I think his kind of, that was the one game that was not as impressive. 7 and 5, which, by the way, 7 and 5 is fine. You know, if you're getting 30 points from Boots Radford, you're gonna, and Wade Taylor had 15 in that game as well. Speaking of Julius Marble, because I know we're doing people who've been hot recently, but he hasn't been hot in quite a while since the Kentucky game. And that game, you know, he got into foul trouble, obviously. Since then, 9 points, 6 points, 8 points, 7 points. If Henry's playing like that, I'll take either one. It doesn't have to be both.
Well, what I'm waiting for, and I know it's coming, it's going to be that game where both of those guys are on, and both of them are scoring in double figures.
Yep.
And maybe it'll be tonight because why? First of all, they're both really good. Mm-hmm. But secondly, Auburn's got to be thinking about Boots Radford and Wade Taylor.
You're right. You're right. Well, speaking of Boots Radford, he was really hot against Auburn the first time they've played, and I think he's been pretty hot recently as well. Last couple games, 17 points, 15 points, averaging 7 rebounds in those games, averaging, 4.5 assists. So
that's some go-go Boots right there.
Dude, go Boots. That's old school. Here's
Yes,
what Boots has done.
I'm all old school.
So since the Kentucky game, 22, 30, 14, 17, 15, as consistent as they come from Boots.
I don't know how you can't look at Boots Radford and say, man, this guy's all SEC.
Yeah, exactly, Dave. That's the thing. I'm excited to see A&M go out and get their guy. And make no mistake, a lot of times we look at these rankings, and he's a highly ranked guy. But there's the biggest names in the country. There's the top 5 names in the country. And kind of much like Holstein at the time, he's not necessarily on that list. But this is a guy that what fascinates me is it's a Bobby Petrino, Jimbo Fisher quarterback. It's the first time those two have gone in together at Texas A&M and said, this is the guy we want. And to go take him early. Now, how will things play out? Will A&M take a second quarterback? There's been a lot of people asking that and wondering that. And I think there's a chance they will, but there's not a guarantee. Like, I think if you said signing day today, depending on how, Marcel Reed looks throughout the whole year, how does Connor Wigman do? That's on the table, and it's certainly a possibility, but I don't think it's a given by any stretch. There's a very real chance that Maddox is your guy in 2020 and 2023. In the 24 class, and I believe that though. This is a guy again that Fisher and Petrino went out and handpicked, and they think he fits exactly what they like to do. So I love getting a quarterback early. I said it yesterday.
Because Auburn has dropped out of the top 25, but a team that A&M has handled the last couple times they've played, but they're still in the tournament. A&M trying to find a way in, at least from bracketology perspective. Your thoughts on tonight?
Yeah, I'm a little surprised, by the way, that A&M, where are they this morning in the bracketology? I'm surprised they're not in. I thought this run they went on, which really started, oddly enough, in my mind, the Missouri win still holds incredible value. The Florida wins have great value. But I thought the loss at Kentucky was a game that showed that, listen, it doesn't matter who we played or what our schedule has looked like to this point. We can hang on the road with great teams in this league. And then, sure enough, they went down to Auburn, which is maybe the toughest place to play in the league, and they blew them out. So I think it's a huge game for both teams. I personally think A&M deserves to be in at this point, but there's no reason to panic. There's still plenty of opportunities with what they have left on their schedule and plenty of wins to pile up. And they've proven that they are a different team than what they were pre-Christmas, what they were against Wofford. That's a totally different team, what we saw back in literally 22. I think that you're going to see a similar defensive game plan for Auburn against Texas A&M, but better execution. They had a great game plan against Tennessee this weekend. That was a really ugly offensive game, but both defenses made it so, and they want to do some of the same things against A&M that they did against Tennessee. They did a much better job executing that in Knoxville than they did a couple weeks ago when A&M went down to Auburn.
I know, I'm doing the media thing, man, this could be the biggest game of the year, but I do think, look, if they lose, not great, but they have a little cachet. But if they win, they build up so much more cachet, beating a team projected to be in the tournament twice, and a team that you have now 2-game lead in the standings anyway.
Yeah, I think it's a really big game for all the reasons, right? It's the next game. It's all that coach speak stuff. I think it's a really big game from a competition standpoint. A&M obviously needs to win this game. More than that, they need to keep it close. Like if they don't win this, they need to keep it close. Now, A&M proved at Auburn that they are just as talented. They have the SEC talent. They have the roster. They also played really well in that game, and I think that's what A&M fans should expect. I expect the same thing tonight. Crowds at Reed have been fantastic. I'm a little bit concerned just from like the stat trends of the last couple games. We can get into specifics about Wade Taylor and Julius Marble and their stats and what that's looked like. So I'm a little bit concerned there, but I think Buzz said it, and we've talked about it a couple times. Like, this team seems to understand their roles, and know your role, do your job is kind of the mantra here to keep playing well.
Talking to John Pugliese here on TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. Here's the thing that I've been impressed with. The teams that they're supposed to beat and the teams that they're supposed to smash, for the most part, they do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that is the recipe, right? Like, so look at quads 1 and 2. They're 4-5 against Q1 and Q2 teams. They have 7 games left. Almost every team in the SEC is a Q1, Q2 game from here on out. So they have 7 games left against Q1 and Q2. They're 4-5. Against Q3 and Q4 teams, they're 12-2. So they lost to, I think, Murray State's a Q3 team, and then at Wofford's a Q3 or Q4 team. Those are their 2 losses in those quadrants. And now they have 1 game left against Q1 and Q2, or Q3 and Q4.
All right, Casares, tell the people what to do.
Like, subscribe, comment, share. Ooh, rate.
I don't know. Anything else, Nick? Anything else we need to tell them to do?
You can text it to your friends or your dad. Maybe, I don't know why dad specifically. Maybe your mom wants to watch it too. But tune into tomorrow's radio show. Maybe even tomorrow's rewind.
So I know all YouTube videos do this, but I don't think there's ever been a person that's watched the video at the end and said, you know what? I'm going to do all that. I'm going to just do it.
We got some people that do that for us.
I think they do it because they're like supporters of the show, but I don't think I've ever changed somebody's mind.
Here's an underrated one. Turn the notification bell on so you don't miss any time we post.
There you go.
That guy there, he's got it. All right, it's TexAgs Rewind. Who's that, Clive? Is that Richard?
That's Richard, yeah.
I know it's always Richard. It's always Richard. Richard with the beard. All right, this is the longest outro we've had in a while. Bye.